Good evening. It's Tyler Rowland here with Drew Wiley of the Jackson Ironmen, and Jackson, who just scrimmaged Ashland tonight. And Drew, it's good to see you here. Thank you. You guys are, of course, replacing a lot this year, but of course, a lot of reasons to be optimistic. You showed some good signs and really came out there and played well.
Yep, I appreciate that. It's just when you got a bunch of new guys, they got to get acclimated to the game, and then once that gets going, you really get going, and then people start making plays. You get comfortable, you start making plays. It's all about just getting confidence out there, really. That's what it is.
And talk about, for a linebacker, what's been something that's helped you to be successful at the position?
Really, it's just learning to be in the game at all times, just focused in on your keys, just knowing the game. You really got to watch film and understand the game to be able to play well, because the physical aspect is something, but the mental aspect is something people really take for granted.
And what do you like about playing for Jackson?
We're just one of the toughest programs in Ohio. We've had a great history. Great linebackers, great tough interior guys, and we always really make a playoff run. And our history of winning the FAC the past few years, we've been dominating, and I just love being a part of a program that really has some old-fashioned tendencies.
Yeah, and this is what I call the roll call, the chance to get to know you a little bit better. What would be something that you feel like is a big obstacle that you had to overcome?
Well, whenever I was a sophomore, I had some issues with my neck, and it was kind of a scary injury, because those are very uncommon. And so now I have to wear one of those cowboy collars to make sure my neck doesn't go too far back to where I get, repeated stingers, and then I don't want to have any injuries up there. Just keep it safe,
Yeah, and what's something, maybe a cool hobby you have, or maybe a cool fact that not a lot of people know about you?
I recently did a charity with the local DAV at Jackson, Disabled American Veterans, and I was able to raise $1,609 with myself and the other accountability captains at Jackson to really put it towards a good cause, and really help out our community. And I just thought that was a real big passion of mine, to help those veterans, so.
Wow, and you mentioned the accountability. Is that part of a group that you're in?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we have our 6 accountability captains for the year, all seniors, and they have their own teams separately, so they can focus on individual guys and make sure they get to school on time, keep the grades up, get in the weight room. Because if you miss 2 practices at Jackson, you're done. You're off the team. If you're not accountable enough to be there if you miss without an excuse, you're out. You got to be there every time, because it's really a lifestyle. You got to be a part of it.
Any shout-outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, thank you to the Jackson community, because you're just the most supportive community in Ohio. I really appreciate all of you.
Awesome. Well, Drew, we thank you for your time, and be sure to check local media providers to follow this Jackson Ironman team. And we thank you all for tuning in and watching this episode of Rollin' Sports, where you meet the athlete.